Welcome back, guys, to the stock market episode. The first stock market episode.
I like stocks.
Of Wealth is Possible.
Oh, yeah. I love stocks.
Yes. Yeah, especially Vino.
So, guys, we're going to be talking about the stock market.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about investing. We're going to talk about long-term investing, risk tolerance. We're going to be talking about what to do before you invest for the first time.
We're pretty much going to set you guys up for stocks.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking stocks. Nothing too crazy right now, but it's gonna be a fun little segment here.
Just a little chit chat about some stocks and a little bit of our journey.
Yeah.
So let's
just
a little bit.
Yeah,
little chit chat.
Yeah. So let's start it off.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our journey, our individual journeys. Into the stock market. When we first invested. How do we feel? What did you invest in? What did you know at the time? What did you learn since then? Heaven, why don't you start us off?
Yeah.
With your stock market journey.
Stocks, bro. I've had like a uphill battle with stocks. Like, bro, I didn't get it for the longest time. I still don't think I get it like that.
I mean, that goes with anything, though, right?
Yeah, right. But I remember I had this weird bank.
Was it one of those?
It was like either EQ Bank or
EQ
it
Bank.
was.
It was EQ Bank.
No, it was Tangerine.
Oh, Tangerine.
It was Tangerine. Because I read this book, Value Simple, and that kind of showed you how to set up like ETFs and like whatever, like index funds. I think I think I had an index fund. I'm not too sure what I had. It was when I worked in like corporate.
Yeah.
Had that's when I started to look into like investing and shit like that because I made a little bit extra coin and shit, right?
It's funny. It's funny how everyone says corporate America. Yeah. Corporate Canada sounds weird.
Yeah. Corporate is just, I don't know. In my opinion, is pretty cussy. It's not for me. It's not for me, I'll tell you that.
Definitely not for me either.
Yeah, it's not for me. But that's when I looked into it. I set up something that I think it was some sort of index fund because I was getting like a annual % on my money.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was like 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know what it was.
That's high interest. Damn, bro.
For like a.
Was this 1979?
Yo, bro, trust me. Yo, when I saw that I made a few cents on the money I put in there, or like a few dollars and shit, I was like, bro, am I rich? I cashed it out. I cashed it out.
You cash it out when you realize that you could be doing much better things with that.
Yeah.
Right?
But no. But like that was
When was this?
Bro, this is 2019.
How long did you have it for?
Years, I would say like a year and something.
Year and a half.
But I was putting in money into it regularly. I had it automatically going into the account, and then that was like one of the things. Like you guys know this, but like those of you guys that are watching
or listening,
yeah. So I actually moved to like Thailand, and not Thailand, Southeast Asia. So I lived in Thailand for a month. And then I lived in Malaysia for a month, and I lived in Bali for a month. Yeah. Why? Because I've been pretty much working since like I was in grade 11, so that's since 2011, right? And I was like, bro, I don't know what it was. Like I was just tired of the Matrix. I was just tired of the same shit over and over again. I'm like, fuck this shit. I read this book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. I read that book the first time, and I'm like, that's when I really opened my mind to like just living remotely and like kind of leaving and shit. And then after that, when I reread it, I just followed the steps. So one of the steps was like to sell all your shit. So I literally sold all my shit, and that GIC that we had, that or GIC or whatever I was invested in, was one of the things, one of my reserve funds that I used to like fund that whole trip and like live out there and stuff, right? Well, I'll talk more about like living abroad and stuff like in another episode, but like right now,
we got a lot of content.
We got too much content right now, but right now we'll just go back to GIC. So that's what happened to the GIC. And then I think I tried to buy individual stocks, but like it was but like
what was the first one?
I don't know, bro. I actually don't remember.
Where would you look to like find like what ideas on what to buy?
Like YouTube. It was like YouTube, like mainstream YouTube. I was like literally looking at stocks like Apple and like shit like that. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, yo, this is mad expensive and shit, right? All of this was done through Wealthsimple. Because Wealthsimple is what really made it like easier and stuff. Like the whole interface was like, it made sense. Because I remember like I tried to set something up with Quest Trade. Bro, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And then I bank with RBC. So I think I tried to buy stocks with RBC as well. But the RBC platform made no sense.
This is back in 2019, right?
Back in 2019, even 2020. I would say early 2020. Like I didn't really get it. Even though I knew like investing in certain stocks like Apple and like all the mainstream guys like Facebook was doing well because of the mainstream buzz. Just based off my previous research with like the books and stuff I read, I know to never follow the mainstream buzz for like almost anything.
Exactly.
Right? Because I think there's a saying they say, be greedy when everybody is fearful and be fearful when everybody's greedy. So, I follow that rule, but because of that rule, I've been in like an analysis paralysis and I had to do shit. So like, I was losing my money at like to inflation, you know, by just keeping like a savings account and like the basic shit, you know. And then I think Wealthsimple came along, and then that kind of made things easier. And then Vinth came along, right? And then that's when I really got more into stocks, and like I started to kind of understand, because we invest in like a unique niche that we will be talking about down the road. I think it's like with Vinth is like I would like with you is like when I learned about like all the fundamentals and like shit, because like I knew there's fundamentals and principles you got to follow when you're investing in stocks, but to me that just seems so foreign to learn about all that shit, right? Because like at that time I was learning about Amazon FBA. While I was learning Amazon FBA, like I got into real estate, so like I kind of just focused more of my attention on those things. I was Amazon, real estate, and then it was going to be stocks. So right now I'm in real estate, so once I get that down, I'm going to be going more into stocks and like learning more about like the fundamentals and day trading and all that stuff. But until then I have Vinth. I think I started with like $25 or like $50 or something.
Yeah.
And then after like that became like,
hey, you know, there's large cap stocks you can buy for, not large cap, but mid cap stocks. Oh, we'll talk about what mid cap and large cap is a little later, but you know, there's large mid cap stocks you could definitely buy for $20, $10, $15. That became a couple $100, and then that compiled to like I think the most I put at one time was like 1,000 something. Did you watch the stock market every day? And like,
no. I never watched the stock market. Once I seen that return, I think that's when like my whole idea of money changed, because I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, okay, I just made this right now for doing absolutely nothing.
The only thing you did was invest in that company.
Yeah, stocks became less of something like clicking
foreign.
a button.
It's not foreign anymore.
Like essentially, like I remember like when I made that return is when I was like, okay, I'm investing in like a legitimate company right now, and I'm owning shares and shit. This is pretty like sick. Yo, to me, like completely honest, like it's still foreign for me. It's still foreign for me. You know, like
that's what this
podcast. It hasn't been that long, right?
Yeah, exactly. It hasn't been that long, but I've over the years, I think especially 2021, like I've actually already kind of started to learn a little bit about like just like the wicks and like all the candles and shit. Like I'm starting to like watching that what's that Asian guy on YouTube that makes it? He has like that accent, but he has a sick accent.
The Fire Grand?
No.
You're thinking of
there's a guy
Steven Ducks.
No.
Trust me, it's Steven Ducks.
It's not him.
He's a day trader.
When you search about how to day trade, he's one of the main.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Steven
about.
Ducks?
No,
It's
somebody else.
It's not Steven Ducks.
It is
You know,
I know
Vino knows him. Vino knows him for sure.
I think he's Malaysian, actually.
The Malaysian, he has like the accent. You know, he has that
I
accent.
forgot his name.
Where does he live?
He's one of the top.
Is he American? Is he in the States or is he in Malaysia?
He's in Malaysia.
I think he's Malaysia.
Yeah, he's one of the top educators
on YouTube for like day trading and stuff. Yeah.
Steven Ducks is up there too. He does lectures and shit.
Okay.
He does like lectures at like universities and shit.
Jeez. Okay.
See, yo, that's the thing.
He started off as a student trying to make extra money. That's how he got into day trading, because he couldn't afford to.
Yo, day trading is a very like. It's a valuable skill to learn.
It's an amazing
skill. But let's not confuse day trading with investing. It's what
we're
talking about.
Yeah.
Two different things, apples and oranges.
We're talking about the stock market in general.
Yeah, we're talking about the stock market, but we don't want to get into day trading per se, because there's a whole
other world, universe.
Right? You know,
that is something that like I want to like focus more on over 2022, right? Once I get my real estate stuff out of the way, like I mentioned, right? But stock market's insane. But then now there's not now, but like the crypto market is also insane as well. So like, you know, it's like I gotta go down the rabbit hole like a little bit deeper and shit.
Yeah, we'll get into the returns.
I mean, I actually like invested in crypto before the stock.
Yeah. Yo, I remember Vino was like a Bitcoin believer, like bro, like since
I wouldn't say
time,
super early, but like I mean, I started researching probably 2018ish.
Yeah. Cause back in the day, like me and Vino used to link up bare, and like we'd be like sitting in the car and stuff, like, and like we'd just be scratching our heads and shit.
We'd just be planning out how to make
bro,
it.
We're like, you know, cause we both knew that we wanted to be like wealthy and stuff, but we're like, yo, bro, we're doing something wrong. We gotta figure this shit. That's something that came out of our mouth a lot. We gotta figure this shit out. We gotta figure this shit out. 100%. Right, and then like we just kind of went our own ways and figured out our own shit in our own ways, which is
So Vino, why don't you get into your stock market? Journey?
So like I said, the first investments that I ever did was crypto, but I knew that I wanted to get into the stocks at that time. I just didn't really have any guidance at all. And then, I would say 2020, actually, from you, I started asking you questions and everything once I started to get to know that you were in that field a little bit. And, you basically showed me a little bit of the ropes. And, I never had a TFSA, and I had finally opened up my first one through Wealthsimple.
Yeah.
And I bought my first stock. I believe it was a REIT, real estate investment trust.
Was it Riocan?
It was Riocan.
I think I had Riocan too.
Yeah,
I think
right?
I
So,
had
we all had Riocan.
Yeah, at the
I mean, I
beginning,
personally, I felt really comfortable with that because I had already seen the name, at a bunch of
like
plazas.
Everything in Canada, almost everything in Toronto at least is like most of the main like
commercial
plazas,
units
and stuff.
Centers,
Riocan,
that, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of my first ones. I probably put in a couple $100 into Riocan. And I bought a couple mining stocks after that.
Like gold mining stock?
Silver? I think the first one was a silver mining stock.
Silver mining's pretty good.
Yeah. And I just started doing more and more research and learning about all the different fields, and that there's the technicals, and then there's the fundamentals, and I just got into it from there, and I've been loving it ever since, man.
It's not addicting, bro.
Here's a question I gotta ask both of you. Like when you guys invested, like, do you guys have like any expectations? Like, what did you think was gonna happen when you invested for the first time? Because I know mine were like, I had expectations
like,
too, right?
I knew that there was the high growth gains that you could get. I thought I definitely knew that was pretty rare. I was just looking for the 5, 6, 7% that was kind of average. That
scares shit.
That everybody kind of gets.
Because anything's better than a Lisa. The low interest savings account.
Right. So I wasn't expecting too much, but at the same time, I quickly learned that there was the growth stocks where you can get 50, 100, 200, 300% and up gains.
Honestly, like with how cheap it is too, like that's like life changing.
Oh yeah.
Like literally life changing stuff.
And
like,
the only difference was like you're taking more risk, right? Because you're getting into companies a little bit earlier.
Yes.
And I always been
and the average person has no clue what the fuck that company is, right? Like,
and they won't like for years.
And they won't for years.
Mainstream, or it goes to zero and it does nothing, or it gets bought out, and you'll never hear about it because Amazon or Google, Facebook,
they steal the
buy them out. They'll
Mm-hmm.
buy them out, and then most people will never hear about it because they got bought out for they could have been much bigger, but you know what? The shareholders got rewarded.
That's the thing, right? We all know, like, the more risk you take, the bigger reward or gains you're gonna get. Exactly. I'd always been a risk taker, so I realized.
I think that's a commonality between the three of us.
100%.
We're
like, even for me, like when it comes to like money right now, like the way I look at it, I look at myself as like, bro, I'm like, right at the time of this recording, I'm 27, right? I don't give a fuck, bro. I actually don't give a fuck. Like, I would put my money into it. Like, I don't mind putting my money into like investments,
but not like completely blind.
I wouldn't do it completely blind.
Would you buy Dogecoin?
Like,
if you just heard about it and you saw the chart and someone's like, buy it.
If I get some good opinions from like people I trust, and like, I have some other sources to back it up, I might put some money into it.
Would you look into yourself, or would you be like, this guy's never wrong, I'm gonna buy it?
Like, if it's like some trustable source, I would hear out the trustable source, but then I would also want to do some like light research just to make sure that it makes sense. At the end of the day, bro, like my whole thing is like, I don't mind throwing my money into like risky investments.
You're willing to take risks as well.
Yeah, right? No, 100%. Because like the way I see it is like, bro, I'm gonna fucking like blow that money on some dumb shit anyways. Like, I'm literally gonna blow that money on some dumb. It's either I put that money into the like my stocks, or like I go fucking buy like 20 burgers for the month or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna blow that money. Like, cause like, bro, like I mentioned, like for the longest time, like I've been working since 2011. I didn't have like any savings account for the longest time. Like, bro, it's like
I think I'm on the same boat.
100%. Like, like, bro, like if you do the math, that's like what, like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I made like 60 something $1,000 in a year. Right? But like, I wasn't saving any of it. I was just spending it. Or like I'd put like a little bit away in a savings, but like, bro, like that's fucking nothing. You know what I mean?
You were a YOLO Tom.
I was a YOLO Tom, bro.
I think the main thing is just like, we never really knew that you should be saving and then investing.
Like we never think that, oh, you can make significant money, like we know you can make it. That seemed like somebody who like lived at home, had like 20 computer screens, and they like the stock market.
Someone on
It all goes back to, you know, how the system is set up to make you an employee and because that's why they didn't teach you financial literacy.
Exactly. 100%.
The super rich or just even the rich taught their kids, but you know, and your financial literacy is based off of what you learn at home and or what you learn or in the environment you're around most often, which is your friends and school, right? And the school's not teaching it to you, and your friends basically are know just the same as you. Then you'll go your whole life without knowing anything about investing, right? Until you. Luckily, we live in the internet age. So, honestly, bro, the internet like did a lot. Otherwise, imagine you would have to, you know, unless you read Rich Dad Poor Dad and, you know, got. Even then, you
like,
wouldn't have invested.
Like, for me
like,
personally,
real estate. But then, other than that, you wouldn't, right?
Most people would need a little bit more guidance than just the book or whatever.
And that's the other thing too. Like, now that I see like some of the returns and stuff, like now I'm like, fuck, bro, I want to make more money so that I can invest more, right? Because like it took me a few years to figure out how much like I'm living off and like what I'm comfortable with. And now that I know what I'm comfortable with, like, first thing I learned was like, I need to make more fucking money. That's why I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back. I'm just gonna fucking learn a high income skill. So I'm going to one of the reasons why I'm going to real estate. But I'm just gonna learn a high income skill so that I can live off. I already know what's gonna cost me to live. But like, I want to invest like more aggressively because I'm like I said, I'm only fucking 27.
That kind of segues into what we're gonna be talking about a little later. High income skill and
100%. But yeah, like, yo, like if you invest more aggressively right now, like then you can kind of like relax and shit, like in your 30s or 40s, or even make bigger moves and shit. Because like, yo, you need capital for fucking anything you want to do,
and your capital is limited.
And it's exactly.
You gotta be careful with it.
Exactly.
At the same time.
But like, yo, because we're young, even if you lose the money, bro, you can literally go back. Like, for example, like in real estate, for example, like if I dropped a whole commission check, which is like to the average person that might seem insane. So if I drop like a $20,000 commission check into one stock, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Yo, don't do that shit." But yo, I don't give a fuck. Like I would have like my set expenses, and I would go all in on like one investment because yo, I'm young, I'm capable. I could literally, if I lose at 20 racks, like obviously I don't want to lose at 20 racks, but if I lose at 20 racks, I could literally just go back outside and start door knocking again, or like cold calling and get another sale.
At least you didn't buy a designer that you can't afford, right?
Literally.
Check.
Yeah, I don't know. I never even.
I mean, you know,
I'm wearing I'm wearing a Nike tracksuit right now.
But you'd be classified as a pretty extreme risk taker, and you know you're looking for those big gains as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Which is smart.
Because we're young, bro.
There's
the time to do that.
We can make it back.
Literally.
Right?
There's a school of thought where it's like you can take X amount and you can put it towards Amazon, Google. You know, those are still high growth. Like crazy high growth, right? Or you know, your Canadian bank stocks and REITs and something more safe, and then you have a certain portion where you're like, yo, this could go to zero, but this could also go to the moon, as people say all the time.
I hate that. I actually fucking hate that, bro.
Yo, one time I was
to the moon.
I was playing basketball.
I
was playing basketball. I was talking to one of my friends. When we were coming back from the court, back to our cars, I was talking to him about stocks, and some kid rolls down his window who's sitting in his car. He's like, to the moon. And I was like, why? Well, yo, honestly, bro, I was like, why? Are you serious?
Shit like that makes me.
I was like, I don't even know you.
Yeah. But yo, like when I hear shit like that, it makes me never want to talk about.
It's like, yo, this is the effect of TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, guys.
So we left off on we heard from Mr. Heaven and Mr. Vino on their stock market journey. So it's
time to listen to what you got here.
Yeah, so you know, for me, my journey started a little bit earlier, 2016 to be exact. I would say I started investing, you know, a little bit before the whole legalization of cannabis in Canada. So there's, you know, I'm sure a lot of you listening got in. I know a lot of people made a lot of money during that time. You know, mostly, you know, in Canopy growth and Aurora Cannabis and all those various other ones. I know there's a lot. I think at that time I put in like $400 or like.
One of those crashed, no?
Canopy growth is down to like $14 a share or something like that.
Yeah.
At its peak, I think it hit like $75 or something.
The biggest thing is that most of these weed companies are not actually profitable, right?
It was just overinflated, right? One of them.
Yeah, and the thing is, the cannabis industry in Canada, the market basically is waiting for Biden to legalize
in the states
all over, like federally.
All over the states,
I know there's some states that are legal, but unless it's federally legalized, the cannabis stocks are kind of just sitting there at the bottom.
They're not really gonna be hitting the numbers that they want.
Yeah.
Right?
Are we exporting our weed to the United States, or how does that work? I think a lot of the BC Kush is like one of the main ones, right?
Yeah. They're duly listed. They're probably operational. There's a lot of Canadian cannabis stocks that are operational only in the United States as well.
Yeah.
Right, and not even operational in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that as well. But moving back to my journey. I made maybe like $400 investing in cannabis. I don't even remember the timeline of how long this took. I just remember, being told about these stocks and putting my money into it. I think I was using TD Direct Investing. I wasn't using Wealthsimple at the time.
Were you doing a lot of research on the fundamentals at all?
I had no idea
right,
whatsoever.
Likely,
Someone told me, and they're like, "Hey,
this is a good
get
one.
in." And I was actually reading on Reddit as well. And Reddit was like, that
was like your.
This is before all the To the Moon and TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok didn't exist at this. Well, it probably existed in China, but not.
It wasn't big here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading on Reddit, and that was just got my conviction from. Really, it was just dumb luck, to be honest. And I made some money, and then I pulled it all out. I had an expense, and I pulled it all out. And flash forward to 2019. I invested in this one stock, and I made my real first material gain in the stock market. I won't mention the stock, but I'll just say, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah, we know.
And it's kind of like in basketball. Like once you see your shot go in the hoop, you just have that confidence, and you wanna practice harder. You wanna work harder, and it's just like you're in the stock market. Like you make money, and you're just like kind of awakened. Like it's possible to make money. Why did this even go up? I have no idea, but it went up, right? And then there's some people that will just literally, they'll get their first gain. They'll either keep their money in there and they'll lose all their money, or it'll go down, or you don't know how to time it. Or someone, luckily maybe for them, will tell them, hey, sell it. But you can't time the market. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that over and over again. It's timing the market, not timing the market, right? I started to do more research on, other stocks after that, after I made that money. That's kind of what started my journey. At that time, I had no idea I didn't understand, like, for example, like the volume levels, like the volume of share traded, et cetera, et cetera. I put a lot of that money into various different stocks, like large cap stocks, like we were talking about earlier. I put it into Riocan. This is before, I guess, all of us started talking about stocks, like just before.
Just before we kind of linked up.
Yeah, I put into more large cap stocks that, I would find on like various YouTube channels, personal finance YouTube channels talking about. Yeah. The Scotiabanks, the RBCs, the TDs.
All the safe stocks.
All the, the large cap stocks with a lot of liquidity. If you look at the chart, it's steadily been increasing. I still had a lot to learn. Like, there was so much I still didn't know at the time. Right? I bought, maybe at one point I was focused on dividend investing.
Yes, I remember that time.
We all are. Everyone's infatuated with passive income, right?
Exactly. So dividends is one of those.
Once you hear that, you can buy a stock and literally sit back and get paid every month or every quarter, you're like, wow, that's crazy. Like, why would I do anything else, right? Right. So Riocan is, REITs. For anyone who doesn't know, REITs it's not called a dividend with the REITs. It's called a distribution. REITs, they pay you every single month because rent gets paid every month. Most stocks pay you quarterly, so every 3 months you get paid a dividend. I personally prefer getting paid monthly. I don't know about you guys.
Of course.
Why not?
But there's ways to set it up so that you'll get paid in the same month every single year by certain stocks, same 4 months. And you can kind of stagger it so that certain stocks pay you and you can get the same return, right?
Yeah.
I was invested in bank stocks a little bit. I was invested in like oil and gas, like Key Era, Suncor, Enbridge.
I feel like I had all of these stocks in my Yahoo
watch list.
Yeah, at this time I literally had like I probably knew like 10% of what I know now. I still didn't understand that you're not supposed to look at the day to day. You're supposed to look at the long term. I didn't look into financials at this time.